Backpacking TV is brought to you by Thermarest. Legendary comfort for your adventures since 1972. Rest better, play better with Thermarest.
Packing for a backpacking trip can seem a little intimidating at first, but the good news is that it definitely gets easier, especially after getting a few trips under your belt. That being said, whether you're new to backpacking or an experienced backcountry traveler, it's a really good idea to make a packing list so you don't forget any critical piece of gear. So, let's run through the things that you should have on your packing list. When trying to figure out what size backpack you're going to need, I generally recommend about a 60 to 70 liter pack, especially if you're going on a 1 to 2 night trip. It should be big enough to fit everything that you need while being small enough to keep you from overpacking. Now, when planning what to throw in that pack, it can help to break your list into 6 categories: shelter, food and water, cookware, clothing, health and safety, and essentials. When we talk about shelter, what we're really talking about is your sleeping gear, which means sleeping bag, sleeping pad, a tent, hammock, tarp, or whatever else you'll use to protect yourself from the weather and critters. Of course, they'll all need to be very compact in order to fit in your backpack and leave room for your other gear. Food is a real matter of personal preference. While some people love to have really intricate menus on the trail, I think it's really hard to beat a prepackaged dehydrated backpacker meal. They're super lightweight, they're incredibly easy to make, and believe it or not, they're actually really delicious too. Of course, you'll also want to bring snacks, things like beef jerky, gorp, dried fruit. These are all things that keep you going between the meals. Regardless of how simple or involved your camp menu is, keep your food weight under about 2 pounds a day. And keep in mind that you'll burn somewhere around 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day when you're backpacking. For drinking water, you'll need someone in your group to bring either a filter or a chemical water treatment system, like iodine or specifically designed tablets like MSR's AquaTabs. Personally, I really like to use MSR's Hyperflow microfilter. It's super small and lightweight, and it's actually really efficient. But I always think it's a really good idea to have AquaTabs on hand as a backup, just in case. Your cookware items include a stove, fuel, pots, and utensils. If cooking consists of boiling water, a medium fuel canister, which is about 8 ounces, usually lasts around 8 meals, or 4 meals if you're cooking vegetables and sauces. But this is dependent upon weather and wind conditions. Because I like to keep my meal plan simple and do a few of my own creations on the trail, my go-to system is the MSR Whisperlight International stove. That keeps things super lightweight and compact. When it comes to the clothing that you're going to need, of course it's going to be dependent upon the climate where you're actually going to be. But if you're only doing a 1 to 2 night trip, don't overpack. 1 change of clothes is fine. You want to make sure you pack waterproof rain gear and a warm layer to deal with cold around the camp. Sun protection like a hat and sunglasses are always a good idea too. Otherwise, you might only need to pack an extra pair of socks and an extra base layer so you have a clean and dry set for around camp. As for footwear, a sturdy pair of hiking boots is key. I also like to bring something super light for around camp, like flip-flops or boat shoes. For health purposes on the trail, you want to bring soap and sanitizer, your toiletries, toilet paper, sunscreen, and a small first aid kit. For safety's sake, you'll want to have navigation tools like your map and compass and a GPS too. On top of all these items, there are a few other pieces of gear that are really essential to bring along and definitely come in handy. You'll definitely want to make sure you bring a headlamp and batteries, a water bottle, a lighter, and some extra waterproof matches are all must-have, while spare plastic bags and some extra light cordage also come in really handy in a lot of situations. Trekking poles can be great, and might be something to consider bringing along as well. So there's a quick rundown of what you need to bring on your backpacking trip. If you like us, please subscribe and stay tuned for more.